We're going to a brand new, I think he's our newest member, Jordan, thanks to David for an introduction from David Ferguson. Jordan is an up and coming entrepreneur who I thought was in Toronto, but I think I've been corrected. I think you're in Florida. So Jordan, you're up with Brian Covey.
Yeah, thank you so much. And hi, Brian. I was in Toronto. I've just moved to Florida. We've become permanent residents here, my wife and I. But my question is more around, personal development. I had a really bad accident in 2016 where I broke my neck diving off of a dock and hitting the bottom of a lake. And then I spent the next year I was diagnosed with chronic Lyme disease. And I spent about 5 years of my life overcoming illness. And you talk about I don't know if you could use it tragedy, but to build resilience. And I like that term. But I've been looking into, just like this group, getting as much personal or self-growth as possible that helps myself and then helps my business, helps my life. How do you validate that something's worth your time? I know that I attend a lot of events and, if there's at least one thing I can pull out, I think it's worth my time. But with so many events now, to be able to attend virtually and in person, how do you validate if something's going to be really worth your time?
Great question. I just want to honor the fact that from 2016 to go through that type of accident, we unfortunately had the opposite of one of our really close friends was diving off a lake in Arkansas and did not make it. So I would say God has you here for a reason. And the fact that you've survived and you are where you are, man, you've got things planned for you. So I just want to affirm that with you. The second, actually, we did this really cool analysis over the last year, and probably during COVID. For many of you, if I were to ask you what's your hourly rate, could you actually quantify it? And for most people, let's be honest, the answer is no, I couldn't. So I'll join the club. And so if you take typically 40 hours a week, 50 weeks a year, maybe you take off 2 weeks, like to be generous. So 2,000 hours that you actually contribute towards your work and all those things, and then divide that into what your earnings were, you actually come up with an hourly rate. What's fascinating about that is you can make decisions from a point of a standard versus your emotion. And so, Jordan, what I would say is there's twofold to this. One is that formula will help you as basic things like, should I cut my yard myself or should I have someone else do it? What's my time worth? Should I have a courier go do this or do that? Should I hire someone to help edit my videos for social media or should I do it myself? Should I hire an assistant that's going to do CRM and some of the data tasks of entering things? What's great about this is it removes a lot of that emotion. There'll still be a little, and gives you a number. And if that number, for example, is $50 an hour, let's say, or $100 an hour is your actual hourly rate, and you can hire someone to do it for $25 an hour, the decision for me is easy. I'm hiring that person. I'm going to outsource it. I'm moving on to the thing that I can generate and grow my hourly rate, grow my earnings. What will happen through seasons is things that you might say yes to now, you might not say yes to later. And I'll give you an example of, there are certain conferences that I went to a couple years ago and certain groups that I invested and I went there. Well, I'm at a different place in my journey. And so now investing in different places with that, that's part of the journey. If you're not changing and mixing it up, you're probably not growing. That's something I learned to myself is if I'm doing the same thing over and over and I'm expecting a different result, probably not happening, right? That insanity hamster wheel starts to kick in. So find your hourly rate, operate from there. And then secondly, know what you need to be doing in this season that's going to get you that maximum impact. And think of 3 to 6 month cycles. I wouldn't think beyond that for those type of investments.
Cool. That's really helpful. Thank you.
And as a new entrepreneur, I know when I was a new entrepreneur and I was making absolutely nothing, that could be a tough equation if you use Brian's math. So good luck with that one.
Thank you.
Right.
But it is phenomenal advice.